you for listening to Crazy Conversations with Miss Kim right here on IntellectualRadio.com. As you already know, we are the station that feeds your brain. We are back, friends. I missed everybody. I am so excited to be back. I am here with my wifey for lifey and my executive producer, Sumner Allman. We are so excited again to be back live in the studio. We missed our friends. Again, if there is anyone that missed some of our interesting conversations, please go to the Crazy Conversation with Miss Kim YouTube page and you can enjoy those amazing previous recorded videos. Again, we are so happy to be back. Hey, Sam.
Hey.
Come on in and tell and show us how much you missed us.
A whole lot.
A whole lot. A whole lot. So again, we are glad to be back. And before we start diving into our conversation, we are going to talk about a few things that we had going on over the past month or so. We were not ignoring our crazy conversations. I had to switch professions. I turned into a temporary nurse. So I had been taking care of my better half, and it looks as though she's healing well and she's back here tonight. And again, we're not going to keep her long because she's still aching a little bit and still needs her rest and still needs to of her meds, take her meds. So we're not going to have her too long tonight bugging her on crazy conversations. But again, we are back. We back outside. We don't have that long, but we back outside. We back outside, even if it is for a doctor's appointment or therapy. We are back outside. So tonight on Crazy Conversations, we have a conversation that if you don't learn anything, you may laugh, you may cry, but the bulk of it is you will enjoy this crazy conversation. And before we dive into that conversation, let me let you know exactly what we will be talking about tonight on Crazy Conversations, which we have a few conversations that we're going to dive into. But the most important conversation that I wanted to dive into and discuss with you guys, and she's looking at me, the caregiver always dies first. That's what we're talking about tonight on Crazy Conversations. And I just got a back there from the engineer, the CEO, Wanda B. She rolled her eyes at me. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice, Miss Wanda B.
I know it will be.
I
You just scared me because I'm the caregiver. I'm like, oh Lord, I
oh,
got first.
oh my God, I didn't mean to trigger anybody. That it was not meant to trigger any of those amazing caregivers that's out there because I know there are some amazing caregivers. It was just when the tables turned, I always received good care, but for somehow the tables turned on me and I had to become the caregiver. And baby, it was a job. It was a job. So from here from here now on, I know that I owe my caregiver everything in the world because if my caregiver had to go through all that I went through, baby, you stuck with me. You stuck with me. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the hidden costs of caring. And the weight of the caregiver. The weight of the caregiver is so important. It is so important. The caregiver has to not only take care of the patient, but the caregiver has to take care of themselves as well. You cannot give care if you are not properly cared for. So, again, tonight on Crazy Conversations, the caretaker always dies first. So, again, as we get into this conversation, I wanted to talk to the executive producer to see how she felt about tonight's conversation. The caretaker always dies first.
No, that's not true.
What?
No, that's not true. No, see, I'm a good caretaker. So I'm good and I'm patient,
Okay.
and I'm better as a patient. So I'm better both ways. So, but
Okay.
like I said, but I just thank God.
Okay. Well, when we say the caretaker, we're saying that I would just like to know, since you have been the type that have never had to have a caretaker, tell me what your experience was for hiring a caretaker. And please tell me the check is in the mail.
you know,
Please tell me that the check is in the mail.
no, I'm a good. Like I said, I'm good. I'm patient. I'm still independent.
We're not talking about what kind of care you give. We're talking about the type of care that you received. We're talking about, was your care,
Caretaker. Oh, most definitely. I ate real good.
I did okay?
Yes, I ate
That was
real.
my first time being a real caretaker. Like, you kept ringing that bell. And I had to get up out of my sleep to come make sure that you were okay.
And I'm okay. Thank you.
So I did okay as a caretaker.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
But it's a lot of caretakers that do not feel appreciated, do not feel like they're doing a good job. And sometimes you just have to stop to say, I appreciate what you are doing for me, because people don't have to do it. And I just thank God that I have someone that takes amazing care of me, because I could never picture myself going through what I went through months ago, or what you recently went through, and you did not have a caretaker. So I know that caretakers have to go through a lot. And I mean, shout out to all the home health aides and the caretakers, and I give it up to you. The nurses, I give it up to you. You all are amazing.
The best.
And even though I had to switch my position for a couple weeks, I still feel is that I'll do it again and again, because it made me feel appreciated, because you never stop saying I appreciate what you doing. And sometimes you just have to hear that sometimes, just to keep going. Just to keep going, because I felt like, oh my God, how am I going to maintain? The person that does everything in my life is out of commission. So of course I'm sitting there like, what the helly? Because I can't do all what she do. I cook the meals. I can't do nothing else. All that stuff that I be wondering how it happened, you make that happen. So as a caregiver, then mom, then wife, I mean, I had a lot of responsibilities, and it was just getting to the point I was just almost about to run away, But then I said, no, I'm going to hang in here because the check on its way. So
But
that's
you
what I
know,
said. I say the check in the mail.
nah, I wasn't that bad. But you know what? It's always appreciative, and you have to be tell people like, I appreciate you and I thank you. I appreciate the kids. It was really, it was a good time. And I think, I'm saying, I just think for like just for the rest, and I thank God for the strength. So I do. I thank you. I appreciate you and the kids, and my family.
Yes, because it was a lot. It was a lot. And it was unexpected from the person that handles everything. You handling 5 households, me. That's a lot. That is just a lot. And two, you're not the type that even want the help. You still want to do it on your own. But this time was different. This time was different. You couldn't do it yourself.
It was okay. Like I said, it was okay. No complaining about it. I thank you. No complaints. I appreciate it.
So let's talk about this caretaker always die first because I had started writing down how I wanted my service and everything to go because I just didn't think I was gonna make it because I'm like, woo, this a lot. I got to do a lot on top of all the things that's on my plate already. But I had to throw it to the side and say, look, I got to get her up and running, and I got to get her up and running better than she came. For real. I needed you up and strong. And now, you are healing and you're trying to get back to that place. And I know that it will be amazing once you do your comeback. But first, I wanted to talk about how it is to deal with uncooperative patients. An uncooperative patient that you have to care for when they're uncooperative. So that's probably directed towards me because I'm the uncooperative patient. My doctor says that.
I don't know. I just think everyone is not a capable person. And that's not being negative. It's not everybody.
Oh
Once
yeah.
again, it's no, that's not speaking negative. Me, I could cater to someone even though I'm sick or I'm hurting. Me, if I still see someone need my assistance, me, I'm not just gonna lay down day by day. I'm gonna do what I have to do to get strong.
And I just want to talk about the emotional exhaustion of fighting battles for those who won't fight for themselves. And I know that at one point I was that type of patient when I just would not get up and do what it is that I needed to do to get well. But that was not you. That
Mm-mm.
was not you. But, the society, they praise the caregivers, but they ignore their health, their struggles, their suffering in silence because a lot of times a caregiver is probably the only person that that patient has. So, of course, some caregivers don't go around complaining because what difference will it make if you're the only one to take care of that patient? So, how do you feel about the uncooperative patients? How do you feel about that?
You know what? Well, I have patient. I'm saying? I'm very patient with them, very patient, very understanding. I sit there and I just listen. If it's quiet, I be quiet with them. So that's one thing we have to realize that it's affecting them was like it's affecting us because we are the caretakers. Like the caretaker could be kids, it could be our kids, it could be the neighbor, it could be anyone. But caretaker, like I said, you definitely have to pray with them and pray over them. But with the patients, you have to have very patient to be with them.
You do. Because it's the constant stress, the sleepless nights, and the neglect of yourself that makes you out of balance as a caretaker. you have to focus on yourself so that you won't lose sleep, you won't become stressed out, and definitely you won't neglect yourself. Because when you start neglecting yourself, then your physical and your mental starts to decline. So I'm glad that we had the opportunity to care for each other during our moments when we did not know that the other one would be ill. So that was very important, and those type of things should be expressed as far as any couple that has health issues and that don't have health issues, because some of us don't have health issues. Things just come about. Things just come about.
Mine wasn't no health issues. So those
Oh,
people.
I know that
So
that
yes,
you did
yeah,
not have a
okay,
health issue. But again, yeah, you up and kicking. Yeah, we know that it was not a
okay.
health issue. So we don't want it out there that you we
Please.
don't want it out there that you're sick. So, when, and another thing that, you know, getting and needing a caregiver is sometimes divides the family, because one sibling, sometimes is left with the entire burden. Like, just because you have a house full of kids don't mean that they all are going to contribute to your well-being or to help you get well.
See, that's where we come in as parents. If they see us catering or caretaker to someone else, they'll follow suit and they'll pay attention. They'll do it after us. So that's where we come in as parents.
Because some people are like, they develop resentment and guilt, and then they start with the why me? Why me? Why I got to do it? Why do I have to take care? Why I got to take care of mom every day? Why I got to take care of dad every day? Why I got to do that? Why? So just because you have cheaper by the dozen don't mean that they will care for a parent that does not feel well. I won't say ill because that triggers you. So next, we're going to talk about the boundaries and the breakdown of the caregiver
Mm.
always dies first. We're talking about that fine line between love and overextension, you know, how to say no without shame and how boundaries actually strengthens the care. And when I say the boundaries, when you have to come in as a caregiver to your spouse and you have to lay down some rules. And some of those rules would be, look, if you sick or if you ill or you just not feeling well, look, you cannot do this. You cannot answer work calls. You cannot be on your phone. Some things have to be put on the back burner until you get well. How do you feel about that? Was
Mm.
it boundaries set
Of course.
during your time of care?
Of course. Because you have to set the boundaries yourself. You can't let anyone set the boundaries of your life or your body or your health. So me, I set the boundaries, but it wasn't really no boundaries. It was to the point like, okay, I appreciate everyone for helping out, and I thank you guys, and I was very appreciative. So no one, I didn't even have to set no boundaries because everyone knows already
No, what?
when anyone is not doing their best, we know what to do.
So sometimes a lot of people, they think about how that dangerous shift occurs, and that dangerous shift is, it goes from choice to duty.
Mm.
It goes from choice to duty. And, a lot of caretakers, they stop living their own lives while keeping others alive because they feel like that's all they can do is care for their patients, but they don't care for themselves.
Mm. So, see, I don't consider myself really a caretaker. I don't. When I'm a caterer, and I make sure that my house is complete and it's all right, ain't not the perfect. So like a
No.
cat, yeah. So a caretaker, no, that's not me. It's natural. I does it natural. I do what I do natural, and I comfort people, and I make sure that you don't have to do anything.
Well, I'm not going to say the same thing. I
You
I
can't.
became a caretaker and I want my check.
Yes.
I want
You
my
can, no.
check. I want my check. And when I say that, that's the next thing we're going to go into, the emotional debt, the silent sacrifices. Yes, a lot of things had to go on hold. Um the caregiver does get burned out, and I'm not going to say that I got burned out, but it was just a lot of things that I did not know. And
Yeah, you wasn't used to it.
yeah, I
It's
wasn't
okay.
used to it. And I have to say that I have to be as honest as possible. This
Mm.
is crazy conversation, but if I'm going to be in everybody's business, then I have to put them in mind the right way. And the right way is that Miss Kim is not used to being a nurse. And it was
No.
hard for me
Yeah.
to take care of an adult because I cater to children and I take care of children. But this is a whole nother level that I was on. But ask me if I do it again. Trust me, if that check finally comes, I'll do it again. I sign up for it. If the mail come, I'm doing it again. I really will do it again. So the burden that no one sees when it comes to a caretaker, people just feel like you're just ignoring them. You don't want to be bothered. You got an attitude. It's not that. I had to serve 4 meals and 35 snacks a day. So I didn't have time to talk on the phone. I didn't have time to return text messages. And everybody, oh, you don't want to be bothered. It was not that. I have to be focused on my patient. Thank God for the nurses that can handle and juggle and finagle 1,000 patients a day. Cause I know what to do with one. So thank God for those people and their professions. I promise you, I'm appreciative. I'm grateful. And I learned and I'm so happy. So I couldn't even picture myself alone when it came to people not having a caregiver. How do you do that for yourself? That's hard. It's really hard. What are you going to say? Go ahead. You got it. How do people do that alone?
Well, I don't think anyone doing it alone, because
Mhm.
that's impossible.
If they're a single person that live alone,
Well, it's friends, special friends. But a caretaker, like I said, a caretaker could be anyone. A caretaker could be anyone, but once again, it's patient.
it does take patience. And I
Yes.
felt like God was teaching me patience, to be more patient, and especially to be patient inside my own home. So I think that that was my test. And again, I did not understand how caretakers put themselves last until I became a caretaker. And it was all about my patient. Those 4 meals and 35 snacks a day, it added up. So, but again, I won't complain. I won't complain. I just wanted to hear your feedback on the caretaker and what was your experience with the caretaker.
It was a good experience, but I was telling you, we was communicating. See, I know how to communicate. Because I don't
Okay.
think something, ain't no such thing, there's a wrong or there's a wrong way, there's a right way. I communicate. You exactly ask what I wanted, and we know how to fix each other food, or we know how to do, but I'm always go help.
Yeah.
You know,
And
uh, I appreciate all the meals, but I'm always gonna support and help you, and I thank you for it.
I sung to you and I watched TV with you when you felt like it. I tried to be that number one
Stop.
caretaker, but I knew that, it was not going to be easy, but, you know, because of me, because of me, I couldn't be on the phone, I couldn't jump up and go to Walmart all times a day. I had to be right there, right there with my patient. The things that I normally try to run away from, no, I couldn't do it then because I had a patient that I had to deal with. And the best part about the care was that you did not resist the care. You were like, if all patients are like you, then that's a good thing because you didn't yell, you wasn't angry. People that tends to be in that situation becomes sometimes is a little grouchy, a little irritated, a little irritable. And no, you were not. You were not. You took it like a champ, and I am so happy. I promise you. And the one thing I felt like was I did not get emotionally burnt out. I knew at that point that I had to be the strong one. I knew that I had to do the driving. And I'm going to just put that on out there right now. Let me just say that because a lot of people that know me know that I do transportation for kids, and then we do luxury black car transportation. But everybody knows already that Miss Kim does not like to drive. So I had to drive probably more than I have driven in 10 years. Is it a problem? No, but I sharpened up my driving skills. So again, I knew that I had to be the strong one for a change. So, I couldn't be the pouty little spoiled brat that I normally am. So I had to be the person that stepped up and helped and do what we needed to be done. So how did you feel about the resistance of a caretaker? How do you feel about people that resist the caretaker, that you don't listen? They don't listen.
Who the patient?
Yeah, when the patient doesn't listen to the caretaker.
Well, once again, it goes back to like I just be still. See, like I said, they ignore me. I just pay attention to them and just look at them to the point like, okay, we gonna be quiet.
So if they're resisting your care, but you are the only caretaker, then what would a person do?
Because if you like try to support them and help them, they'll say you doing this, you doing that. So sometimes you just have to stand still and be still. Because if they resist it for a reason. So you force it, they can say that you force whatever. So sometimes you just have to be still. If they resist it, I'm just gonna be still. So when they ready to get washed up, when they ready to eat, when they get hungry, they gonna say I'm hungry.
They gonna say it.
They gonna say I need water. I'm
They'll
thirsty.
communicate then.
I promise you. So sometimes you just have to be still with the patient because they want you to be still for a minute.
So when they don't communicate or they won't say what it is that they need or what they want, what you do? Roll them in the basement?
No,
Because you said they'll eventually start talking. That
yeah, no, really, you study.
you
I
study
study
them.
the people that who's around me. anyone from friends to coworkers. Anyway, I study people, and so if they ever fall ill, I already know what to do.
So I was told that it's medical neglect for caretakers if they're only taking care of others and not taking care of themselves. Medical neglect. So I don't know. I just had a conversation and they said that it's medical neglect. I can't take care of myself because I'm too busy taking care of others. And I just didn't feel like that. I don't feel like I neglected myself.
Cause you
I
taking care
did.
of others?
Yeah, I just didn't comb my hair. I mean, the
No,
typical things that
that's
I don't do
no,
sometimes. So
no. That's too deep. That's not true.
yeah,
I
so
don't.
you
Yeah,
think
no.
they might just not want to do it. And I understand, because
It's not for everyone, and that's okay. It's for the ones who is not for. It's okay. You can't condemn them. You can't talk about them. It's not for everyone. It's okay, but they might get help too sometimes. But like everyone is not a 24-hour caretaker, but to a point like, and that's okay.
so when the family expects one person to do all the caretaking, when one family expects for there to be one particular caretaker, that's the person they ask all the time to care for everyone. What do you do?
That's a blessing because they trust you, they believe in you, and they have faith in you.
That means they the reliable one.
There you go. You answer your own question.
That means they the reliable one. So I could figure that out. They want you because they know that they can depend on you. And they know that you got their back and that they know that their care is gonna be top notch. So that being said, you know, it's hard for caregivers to build boundaries with a patient without guilt. You know, and I found that to come around with us because I had to build boundaries because I had to tell uh the boys to not they can't bother you, or they would have to wait a minute, and those kind of boundaries.
No, I can't knock them like that. The boys, no, no, no boys was 1 million on it.
Right. And it's like
They were,
they sat at the edge of the bed. They wanted to be
they were.
the caretaker where they
The
thought
yeah,
that they were the caretaker.
yes, all the kids they were.
They're not getting none of
All
that
the
check.
yes, the girls, yes. I'm gonna go say all of them was on it. So I like I say, I thank you for the love, the support, and man, I don't have no complaints. So that's what I'm saying. It's like whatever what they see, I got it out. Cause what you give out, I got took it in.
I can tell because again, they were on it when it came to the caregiver. It did. And I need one of my listeners, Cherie Lucky. Can you please call the station 708-223-8953? I do not have a device available to call you. So please call in and talk to Miss Kim. I do not have a device available to call you as we talked about this amazing subject. So 708-223-8953. That is the number to intellectualradio.com. So when we go back into the reliable one, that's so major. That reliable one is so major because normally that reliable one doesn't get a chance to live life the way they would like to live life.
Oh no, I did, and I'm doing it. I'm the reliable one, and I'm living. So I guess I say I guess it's for the person because that's in me. That's my nature. That's what I like to do. That's what I love to do. So I enjoy it, and I just have my me time afterwards.
I see that. And what tips do you give for rest and support systems and therapy with your caregiver. What kind of tips would you like to share with us?
I don't know. I just you have to let them be them, and you have to let them have their alone time. You have to give the caretaker their alone time. You have to, if they want to communicate, of course, let them communicate. But once again, you have to put yourself in their shoes sometimes.
So man on his way. What day man go get him? What day man coming? What day am I? What day do mine show up? And I'm just glad that I had an opportunity to teach the next generation, you know, to how to sacrifice sometimes for others, because it's not all about you. They think because they're young, they're vibrant, they're outside, that they may not need a caretaker. That's not true. So, the identity of a caretaker, you know, it's urgent because you don't want people to see that on your face. Oh, she care for people. Oh, she does this, she does that. So people can see, because you're just that drained. I wasn't drained though. I just wanted you back to 200%, and that was only because so I can mess with you. I felt bad messing with you when you ain't feel good. So I couldn't, I had to act right. And giving me a dose of act right, it just doesn't mesh well. But I did have a lot of information on advocacy of the caregiver and wellness tips on caregiving. I was Googling it right while I was sitting next to you, because I wanted to make sure I was doing things appropriately, and so I was studying on how to be a good caregiver, because I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything appropriately. So, and it seems as though, how when people are have to have surgery or they're ill, friends and family, they drift away. Social life disappears, and it seems like, the world starts shrinking, because sometimes people just feel like they don't want you to ask them for nothing. So, they'll get back with you when you up. Did you get any of that? Did any of that anybody drift away because you were not feeling well?
Oh no. Mm-mm. See, just because a lot of people did low like that, because that's just me. You know how I am.
Yeah.
Um, no, they did, but it's the ones who did know, and no, that's what the guy can say. That have not happened to me has not yet. You never
Mm-hmm.
supposed to say never, but so it have not happened to me yet. No, no one has not drifted away because it wasn't that serious. That's what I'm saying, because when you are that person, God will surround you with the people that who you are. So that's what I can say is I'm surrounded by people because of the way that I give.
So what do you think when what happens when the caretaker becomes the patient? What happens? Because I mean, we had an episode like that too when we both were ill, you
But
know.
I was the caretaker.
Really? So
Yes,
really?
I was a
Yeah, you
caretaker.
doing the most.
Yes, I was a caretaker. But both of us was ill.
Yeah.
I was a caretaker.
So, so
They
what
just
was I
me.
doing? That's okay. That's a whole nother
That's
conversation. But I'm serious. I wanted to know what happens when the caretaker becomes the patient. Let's talk. I'm listening.
Kim. You not please stop.
Call me Miss Kim.
Kim. You you caretaker stop. You do it. Come on, that caretaker. No, my caretaker's not going to get sick because my caretaker is caretaking.
Because your caretaker is taken care
Yeah.
of.
So
And she is on my whole nerve. I already know. I
so
already know. That's why I needed you back up. I'm like, Coach, when she gonna get back in the game? I was serious about that for real. And I just we I thought about, how families and systems often fail to step in until it's too late. And, I never want to witness that situation. Here comes somebody saying, "Oh, I used to do this, I used to do that." Okay, but where were you then? Where are you now?
I'm thankful. I
I'm
don't.
so
I'm
thankful.
thankful I have to go through that. I'm just think I'm saying I'm very
Cause
appreciative
I know I
and
would have been rolled in the basement.
man,
I already know. I would have been in the basement, in the boiler room. Y'all wouldn't even let me in the laundry room. I'd be rolled over there if I had to depend on a outside caretaker other than my spouse taking care of me. I didn't have to want for anything. So again, we're going to talk about solutions for survival when you're a caretaker. Sometimes people say, "Oh, well, if it's a long time, you can get respite care for or a respite care caregiver." Please. Am I gonna get somebody to fill in? No, I'm not. I'm all with the support group part. Maybe sometimes caregivers do need someone to talk to. So the caregiver support group, it's a plus, but reframing self-care, this is what we have to do. And we have to know how to survive through our jobs as caregivers if we have to provide that type of round the clock care. Did I say around the clock right? Because I want to make sure they get all my hours right on my check. I don't want them to miss a thing. I want everybody to know it was around the clock. So when it's in the mail, right? I'm praying it is. I'm praying it is. So in order to, you know, real strength is knowing when to ask for help. The real strength comes when you can say that I can't do it. That's where the strength comes from. When you can say, "Look, I'm just in too much pain to do it." Did you have moments like that? Did you have any moments that you felt like I had to ask for help and that was the strongest moment?
no, this time, pretty much I did not even have to ask for help just because they was up on it. So that's one thing I can say. But the kids, like I said, my family was up on it. So no, I cannot. Like I said, it was a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for the part of me paying attention, relaxing, you know what I'm saying, relaxing, just really paying attention, just praying, praying and like I said, for all the support. And thank you for the meals.
Yeah, keep talking about the meals. I also was wondering how you felt about, and the reason I wanted to know how you felt about it is because I lived it and I realized that the caretaker doesn't have to be the strongest one in the room. So, the caretaker, it's always put in your mind that the caretaker must always be the strongest one in the room. In our situation, that wasn't true because even though I was providing the care, I was not the strongest in the room. And
It was understandable.
and
It's okay that I knew that.
I admit that.
And I knew that. I felt it.
You felt it?
Yeah.
Why you ain't say
I don't
nothing?
have to.
Okay, you had me feeling all bad. And I'm like, "Oh, did
No,
I
it's
do that
okay. I
right?"
know. I know it.
So, and I
But
was even the things that I did incorrectly, I did not have a problem with you redirecting me. "Oh,
but
no, it should be done like
but
this."
there's no right. Oh, there's no right or no wrong way to take care of another human being. It's have to be your way. If you know it's the right way, it's gonna be your way. It's gonna be a good way.
Well, I appreciate you even allowing me to take care of you. It was a pleasure. I will do it a million times again. Um, you were the perfect patient. We had our situations, but I don't think I ran out the house screaming at all. So with that being said, I we both did an amazing job caring for each other. And again, I want to also say thank you so much for me disturbing you while you were resting when I was writing and talking on the phone and having meetings, and some things I just could not say I couldn't do. I could not. And I hated that because I think that you needed my undivided attention at times. And I had so much going on work wise that I had to step up to the plate and do exactly what I had planned prior to,
It's a, it,
the situation.
it was okay. I understand.
Well,
I'm understanding. I'm very understandable.
extremely,
Yes, I got it.
extremely.
Yes.
So again, I have to shout out to Miss Felicia over at To Be Served, and that's 1950 West 87th Street. They have an amazing banquet hall, a venue for you guys to rent. When I say the floors look like you're walking on a cloud, give Miss Felicia a call over there. Go by To Be Served. Right next door is the event venue. It is amazing. It's new to the city of Chicago. So get over there if you planning on getting married, you having a baby shower. There will not be much that you'll have to do in that venue because everything is amazing. Also, too, I did not get a hold to Miss Cherie Luck, but I do want to let you all know to come out to Privilege this Saturday. No, Saturday, September 6th. This is Cherie's last show at Privilege. So come on out. We are going to have an amazing, amazing time. We kicking off Virgo season because, as you know, Miss Kim is in love with two Virgos. I have my amazing executive producer and my wifey for lifey that's a Virgo 921, and I have my amazing son Titan LeBron Almond that is a 921 baby. Mama Sam and her baby shares the same birthday. So Virgo season is everything in my household. So again, you all heard me. Get to Privilege on September 6th. Get on social media. Get your tickets to the Silly Saturday comedy show, which is the last one at Privilege on 67th Street. I want to see you there. So we are going to have some laughs. Again, we are shouting out all the Virgos that's going to be in the building at Privilege. Again, that is September 6th. You can look on the Crazy Conversation with Miss Kim Facebook page, and we will have the information on the page for you to purchase your tickets. I'm not sure how many tickets are available, but I am telling you to get yours. Again, on Crazy Conversations with Miss Kim, we would like to thank everyone who participated in the book signing of Surviving the Game. I appreciate everyone that came out to show me love, to get their book signed, and to purchase their book. Again, we have our second, Miss Kim's second book has been released on Amazon Barnes Nobles. That is The Bad Board Member. This is the hardcover and the hard copy. Go get yours if you know anyone that has served on the LSC or any district's school boards. This is the book for them. I promise you, as you turn the pages, you will see exactly what you yourself have went through at that board table. So again, the Bad Board Member is available available on Barnes and Noble and Amazon.com. And before we leave tonight, I would just like to thank Miss Wanda B for being patient with us throughout our situations. We are loved here at Intellectual Radio, and we also love Intellectual Radio. So you know already that this station feeds our brains. So we can't do nothing but love it. Again, we will see you next week. We appreciate you stopping by just to listen to some crazy conversations and take care of your caretakers. Again, good night, friends.